Men don't give in to people's rudeness by compromising their limits. Instead, they give them their absence. Your absence encourages those deserving of a second opportunity to cultivate a level of respect before approaching you once more. I believe that when it comes to dealing with rude people, the use of quiet and absence is underused. It's frequently your automatic first reaction to confront rudeness or disrespect from someone. However, this is a pretty feeble strategy that brings your worth to their level. Dealing with others in a way that mirrors their immoral behavior is not a quality of a leader. Maintaining your normal manner, however, is ineffective since people will see that you don't respect yourself. They'll probably go further. What do you do then? Since actions speak louder than words, they are more persuasive than verbal arguments. The best way to teach someone a lesson if they disrespect you is to starve them away from your focus. This implies that you should limit your use of your eyes, your verbal interactions, and your physical proximity to them. This reply sends the message that they are unimportant because of their bad behavior. The evidence is from conduct. People naturally seek out attention. This is why the strategy of omission and silence is most effective, since it starves what people most want. They will immediately try to change their conduct, whether they realize it or not, trying to get your attention again. Even the most arrogant guys exhibit this, as I have observed. Simply turning your focus away from them will cause them to unintentionally change how they behave to regain your respect and attention. Words decrease your worth. This approach keeps your spoken communication intact, which is a crucial issue. When you are about to participate in conversation, it is quite simple to minimize your value using words. A conversation with someone who is impolite or rude. You try to justify yourself and your thoughts by using the emotions that are buzzing on the surface. To respond poorly to their actions. And that indicates that you're close to making a mistake. This is especially expensive when others are listening in a public venue like the workplace or a social gathering. You cannot take back an insult you have already said. And individuals will recall it. Rarely will you appear to be a wise, high-status man if people see how you engage with a disrespectful person. A character-rich individual is constantly brought down to a degraded level. Never do things the other way around. Smearing reputations is the most exciting thing in society. This implies that you are already at a disadvantage when someone engages you in a nasty or disrespectful manner. There are observers. Each word matters. Rude people rarely react civilly to conversation. Getting involved with them will damage your reputation. The issue arises when you try to provide an explanation for why this individual should get away with bad behavior. However, this way of thinking elicits a number of negative feelings that, more often than not, will cause you to lash out regretfully. But if they truly achieve what they want, nasty individuals only get away with their bad conduct. When you grin and gaze at them in silence, they cannot get away with anything. In order to get something from them, you must teach them that they must change their conduct. Simply say, "That was not required," to someone if they treat you disrespectfully. Then stop it short and turn off all of your attention. Keep your distance from them. Behave as though they don't exist. Nonverbal individuals should all emit an uneasy silent glare. Nothing further. Make it uncomfortable because it makes people feel uncomfortable, which puts you in charge. Stare because it intimidates others and causes them to quickly rethink how to approach you. Laugh because the most disturbing reaction to impolite or combative conduct is to frown. Do not pay them any attention until they demonstrate changes in their conduct. After that, you may give them brief attention bursts to ensure they fully grasp your intentions. Intolerance for disrespectful conduct and the obligation to display respect. Learn how to correct impolite individuals by using silence and absence. The prize is attention. Its revocation is a penalty. There will always be those who would try to make fun of you in any given social group. Those small-scale power struggles aim to stir up your emotions and devalue you. Always maintain composure and calm. Don't succumb to their pointless games. Be superior to everything. By using this procedure, you can make everyone silent and make your remarks meaningful. Use the person's own words to minimize them. Maintain self-control and restrain your emotional responses. Make it clear to everyone that you are serious. Remain composed, but don't allow anyone to tread on your toes.